Yo, what is good? What is good? Feels good to record this video. I don't know if it's gonna be short one or maybe a long one. Probably short one, I don't know. But anyway, lately I've been fighting some demons from within. I've been trying to truly set myself free mentally, spiritually. I don't know what you would like to call it, but I've been seeking a way to set myself completely free in this life, completely free myself from all attachments of feelings and emotions and opinions from the external world, truly detaching myself from all external so I can be completely free and live a life of self-actualization and become the most complete version of the person that I am disposed or meant to become. So I've been reading a lot of things and listening to podcasts and people online. And you can think about that what you want, but there's a bit of philosophy from Nietzsche, and it basically says that you need to let go of the restrictions that this modern world imposes upon us that don't allow us to achieve that potential that we have within us. And one of the restrictions, well, he makes this guy that explains the philosophy of Nietzsche makes an analogy that probably is a passage from Nietzsche or something like that. And he basically says that we people are like a tree. A tree is meant to achieve some purpose, something that it's meant to achieve, And for the trees to make oxygen and maybe bear fruits and produce its fruit. And the tree can face some restrictions, some limitations that don't allow it to fulfill its nature. And that could be the lack of sun or the lack of water, And he basically makes this analogy, the guy in this video, and he tells that we humans are kind of the same as the tree, and that a prominent limitation within modern society is shame, Shame to let the true person within us shine and to show our true nature, to stop the shame that we have to not let our true personality or our true self express itself in this modern world. We always walk on eggshells. We try to hide the true self that we carry within us. And honestly, these well, these things lead to a certain kind of psychosis, and I, in my opinion, it leads to a certain detachment from our true selves, and from the and it leads to a reality in which we don't achieve the true person that we can become, you know. Because imagine this scenario. Imagine yourself, you know, facing and experiencing shame in this world, and basically yourself not being able to express your true identity to other people because you're ashamed of it for whatever reason. Maybe you want to please everyone, maybe you want for everyone to like you, something that is practically not achievable in this life, you know. But imagine a reality in which you try to live in that way, in which you try to please everybody, in which you always walk on eggshells, and because of that, you're ashamed and afraid to show your true self. What happens then? Then you start to wear this mask. And you start to identify yourself with this mask that you show to the external world, you know. This mask, the persona, as Carl Jung called it, the part of ourselves that we, you know, show to this world because of moral and societal limitations, you know, that we think we need to abide by. And sometimes that can be great, right, to achieve a certain goal, but that's only to be reserved for certain occasions. Because the moment that we start to associate ourselves with you know, that external mask, that superficial part of ourselves, we lose touch with the true self, the true personality that we bear within. And then what happens when we start to invest onto that persona, onto that mask? Then we start to neglect our true selves. We forget, well, we start to invest all this time and energy into that mask, which in turn, you know, robs us of the time that we can invest into our true selves, into becoming and really, you know, developing and getting in touch with our true selves, and getting to know who we really want to be and what we really want to achieve in this life, and really achieving that self-realization and self-actualization that leads to discovering maybe our life's purpose, and to leading a more fulfilling life. And then, in the case that you start to associate yourself with that persona and that mask that you put up every day to please people, or because of the shame that you have to let loose and be your true self, what happens is that you are not truly fulfilled by the mask that you wear and that you show to the world, because that's not your true self. Your true self will always be the one that you really have from within you know, the one that lives within your psyche. And so you don't identify with that mask, but also you lose touch with your true self, because you've put up all this energy and time into developing that fake aspect of you. So what this leads to is to you becoming a shell of a person that, you know, has no true identity, because the identity that you identify with is not the one that you really want to be. And and your true self, well, that's the self that you've been neglecting, so you haven't come to mature within that true self that you have, so you're left with nothing. And honestly, that could be the reason that nowadays a lot of people feel aimless and purposeless within this life, because they haven't stepped into their true nature, because they're ashamed for whatever reason, for whatever kind of insecurity. They're ashamed, or maybe they're too attached to the external validation, or they have this unrealistic goal of wanting everyone to like them, or to want to please everyone, and to and they forget, or they don't realize that true fulfillment can only come from within, because everything external is out of our control, just like the Stoics say, you know. So the people that lead a life like this, they will never truly attain their or find their true purpose, never will truly be fulfilled within life. They will always be walking towards the next thing, without truly appreciating the present moment, because they're anxious to move on from what they are experiencing, because they don't feel comfortable within their experience of this world, you know. That's why people are so anxious and jittery and jittery. Jesus, excuse me for that. But you know, and that's why people are tensed up and so unfulfilled within this life. That's why people are scared of being alone and spending time alone in silence, because then they need to face this reality. And it's a harsh reality that, you know, you need to be strong to be able to put up with. And if you ask me, it's a really big problem. It becomes a really big problem if left, you know, unaddressed. It leads to this mass psychosis within society. Because if no one steps into their true self, then how are we gonna advance within society? How are we gonna get new perspectives, new, you know, everyone is gonna eventually, if everyone's ashamed to show their true selves, there's gonna be a moment in which we stagnate and we get stuck within a cycle that might be destructive for the whole of society, because no one is able to step outside that bubble and look from without and from a new perspective to the things that maybe need to be addressed within this world. That's why things like war and you know, and these movements like feminism and things like that, because people don't truly achieve their true selves. They're chained to these societal restrictions, you know. And I mean, you can interpret this the way you want, you know, but I think it's something that to truly take a moment to think about, and think about it for yourself in your own scenario and case. So alright, peace out, man.